Listen,
You're on the air now.
He said we need to beat. He said we need to beat Resident Evil 6. Well, we can't because we're on stream.
That's what I'm saying, you hussy. So hurry up.
Did you just call me a hussy?
Yes, he did.
Like, what is this, 1967?
What a great way to start damage check.
All right.
Yeah, enjoy that being on damage check.
All right. Hello, Team Absolution fans, far and wide. It's time for your damage check. I am the captain, of course. We're gonna do our usual 5 minutes, but before then, well, actually, I don't even do that because I think we started pretty well into it. I think people who are trickled in have trickled in. But I am joined with the Irish Keith.
Mm-hmm. How's it going, everyone?
And I am joined with the Braxton Express.
Hey, yo.
More Braxton, less Express today. Today's going to be it's kind of a jam-packed damage check, actually. There's been a lot of things going on in Vanguard the last 7 days. More so than, like, the usual 7 days.
Oh, is this going to be a damage check deluxe?
For Switch. Damage check deluxe for Switch.
Oh,
ported over from the Nintendo GameCube.
Mm-hmm.
The best system. Anywho, yeah, so I'm going to wait like 2 minutes to let everybody trickle in. Back to our previous discussion about Yu-Gi-Oh! We were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Not Duel Links.
Speaking of Yu-Gi-Oh! Did you buy that box yet?
What, the new box?
Yeah. Did you get your Great Tornado, my guy? Hussies for Jose.
Nah, I didn't get the new box. Dude, I've spent enough money on Duel Links for 1 minute and a half. I will wait until
I'll wait till after damage check to buy more Duel Links.
No, I'm actually like premium satiated on Duel Links. As far as like I have 4 decks, I enjoy them all. The Great Tornado is a good card though.
I just built the best arena deck in MTG, and I finally made it to Platinum, and I'm quite happy with myself. Speaking of card games.
What does that have to do with Duel Links, Keith? I'm sorry. Why you got to be like this? Why you got to change the subject?
Is it MTG?
Yeah.
MTG Arena?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Because I like to spend money too, Braxton. God.
Just a lot less. Just a lot less. Is it like the best deck, like $60? Get out of here, Keith.
You can make an absurd.
They had to sacrifice blood to get Masked Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I had to sacrifice so much to get my second Night Beam, and I didn't even want it. Like, I didn't even want it. I was digging for something else. I forgot what I was even digging for. That's how much Duel Links has me.
Is that? Wait, does Duel Links still have the same system where, like, if you have a booster box, you like open it and then you eventually like get the rare, like the super rares and stuff, but like it's random up until that point. So like you have 90 packs in the box, and you just kind of keep opening them.
Kind of, yeah. But you could so let's say like I open 12 packs, and for some reason I get the ultra rare in those 12 packs that I wanted. I can reset the box.
Okay, so that's the same as when I was playing. Okay,
which is what I like. But sometimes it's not even going to get down there until
the amount of times I had to go through the entire box. Oof, anger. Oof. Straight anger.
Uh-huh. Ain't that the truth? That being said, all right, we're going to jump straight in. It's time for damage check. This time
for damage check. Exciting times.
So we're going to start, of course, with the Immortal Ward has left again. We're going to start with the spoiler reel. Today we are starting with one of Braxton's favorite card, the Grade 2. What's his full name? Do you know his full name, Braxton? It's like Given
giving you the hands. That's his full name.
Lie down, later. Given, I think, is the full name.
Lie down, because I put you down. Given.
So jumping straight into his effect, auto rear guard at the end of the battle that it attacked. If your opponent has a deleted Vanguard cost, put the sum of 6 cards from your hand and rear guard to the drop zone. Stand your Vanguard until the end of turn. It gets drive -1. This is not a once per turn skill. You could theoretically do it twice. I guess you could do it more than twice. but that would be a lot of resources.
You don't have enough rearguard circles to be able to do it more than twice, right?
Well, it's a sum of 6 cards from your hand and rearguard, right? So, like, couldn't you just do 6 cards from your hand over and over? If you had just a giant hand?
Oh my God, Jose!
But you'd have to hit restands, wouldn't you, to restand the given? Or wait, no.
The given has to swing.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
The given has to swing. I got you. I was trying to figure it out in my head, but I got you. So yeah, twice is the max. I knew there was a reason twice was the number I was thinking. That was why. So, but the fact is, like, I think this card is really good.
But if he does hit the restand and you got like 18 cards in your hand for some reason.
So, what do you guys think about this card?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is what Link Joker needed to tie it all together. Like, this brought it all, like, it gave you the full it's trying to do in set 4. Because, like, oh yeah, Great Hole, we were talking about it last week and we went off for like 30 minutes on Great Hole. Is like having a crit and a deleted Vanguard is a lot more threatening when you're restanding. Like, it doesn't matter if you're ditching 6 when you win the game. Like, I don't care if I have negative cards in my hand because I won. Like, that's fine. I don't give a shit.
See, Keith finally reading the Braxton Bible to victory.
Restanding with crits?
I was always a huge proponent of the Braxton Bible because I used to run Armor Break Dragon and I made it to win the game. So I am always about it.
No, I agree. I mean, I think this card, like we were talking about last Damage Check, I think this card really makes that Vanguard a lot better. It kind of adds a lot of synergy left into the deck. Also, now it really adds a viable threat. Granted, it was always a viable threat, but now being deleted is just that worse. Because, like, when you get deleted and then you drop this, it's like, And it's the end of the battle that it attacked. So it's like, there's no avoiding this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way out of this. It's going to happen, and you just have to accept it.
Man, the thing that Griffin isn't in this game.
I remember when they were bad restanders like Maelstrom, and now we've got like a grade 2 that restands the Vanguard in an amazing fashion. Like, yeah, drive -1, but I gotta agree with what Keith said, man. If it's got a crit, I don't care how many drives it has. I don't care how many cards you have.
Mm-hmm.
If he keeps hitting you with a crit, he's gonna kill you.
Yeah. Oh, and one thing as well, I think that we have to bring this up. He is costless. Like, he's not a CB. He's not Soul Blast. Like, this man just says, like, dump your dudes and let's go in. Like, that's all that's gonna happen. Like, you can't get CB starved with this guy. You're not gonna get soul starved with this guy. He's just gonna hit you and you're gonna feel sad.
The only way you avoid this is to keep him from having a full board or keep him from having a large hand.
Yeah,
but it's got to be one or the other.
Like, don't get deleted.
Well, technically, it has to completely shut down this play. It has to be both. He either has to have no hand, and he has to have no board. He has to have neither. He really just has to be dead.
Yeah. Yeah. It's probably the one weakness. I think Jose brings up a really good point is that this card is not good when you're behind. Like, this is not the card you want to be playing when you're behind, because you do not want to -6 you're behind. That's not going to help you win the game or stay in the game.
Right.
So
Amen.
The one weakness of this card, but I think you take the loss in this case. Like,
I mean, this is the nail in the coffin. Like,
yeah,
if the new Vanguard's the finisher, then this is the nail in the coffin that really puts you to bed.
Oh yeah,
it delivers the final play. Like, that's the final play. You drop your Vanguard, you delete the dude, you do the thing, and then you're just like, I win now, and you lose, and that's just where we've gotten to.
Good day, sir.
Hey man, the amount of times anyone's ever been behind and they've stolen a game with one restand, sometimes that's all it takes.
Mm-hmm. For real though, you just get lucky on that restand and you're good.
Oh, you only have 5 cards in hand? That's not enough.
And like, the thing is, like, they tried to balance this card with the sum of the cards and the drive -1, which they did really well. But I still, in the end, think that they made a very powerful card. The drive -1, once again, it doesn't matter if it kills them, in my opinion. And the card cost like Keith said, if you're behind, it's definitely not the gamble I would take if I was behind. This isn't the kind of card I'd play if I was like, this is my one chance to win. Given, like, nah, bad play, bro. But if you're like right on the precipice of victory, this is what's gonna take you there. This is gonna be the finishing play. Anyone got anything else to add?
I think I'm good.
How did
Perfect.
How did Link Joker get the restander?
Speaking of Link Joker getting things that other clans want, let's talk about Dark Metal Dragon.
Oh no! Oh,
You mean Red Eyes Dark Metal Dragon?
No, sorry, friend.
Oh no!
Grade 3 Shadow Paladin Force Marker, 13k. Act rear guard once per turn. CB1, retire one of the rear guards. Search your deck for up to one card with 9,000k power. 9,000k.
9,000k? Man, what a oof! What a demon!
Search your deck for up to one card with 9k power. Call it to rear guard. Shuffle your deck. Your opponent chooses one of his or her rear guards, retires it. During end phase, retire the unit called with this effect. Man, this card is poop.
I have so many words about this card. I don't know if I should just start talking. But Dark Metal Dragon. Dark Metal Dragon is the equivalent of if you're in a boxing match. You're sitting there and you're like, trying to stretch out your dude. The other person on the other side of the field has Ivan Drago from like Rocky 4. Was it Rocky 5? Rocky 4?
It was 4. It's 4.
Rocky 4. He's sitting over there. And on your side of the field, you got like a 300-pound man in like socks, white socks, and Crocs. And you're like, this is the man that's like going up against Ivan Drago right now. This is Dark Metal Dragon. Why is it 9k? Why is it only on the rear guard circle? Why is it a CB? Why does it get retired at the end of the turn? This is such hot garbage. I want to destroy every copy in existence.
Yep, you forgot I gotta retire one of my other dudes already.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, and also retire one of your own dudes in the first place. Like, oh my god. This card is using the biggest crayons in the world. It's so sad. Like, it's irredeemably bad. If I could give it an F-, I could. That's my opinion.
This gets a 0. It gets a 0. Didn't show up, didn't even write his name on the test.
Yeah. This is... Man. Oh.
And the unit retires at the end phase, so like even if you're on Gust Blaster, you're not even gonna get the crit.
Oh my god.
Actually, wait. Well, let me rephrase that. You got to retire another rear guard, so Gust Blaster will get the crit. I'm dumb. That's how you use this card.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now it's OP.
Card bad.
Yeah, card so bad.
Now let's continue on other more bad things. Well, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna ask you guys about this, but I think it's bad, but I don't know. We're talking about Apocalypse bad. Another Shadow Paladin who wants to think he wanted to be in DI instead. Or Pale Moon even. When placed, you may call a card from Soul on Vanguard. On Rear Guard, when placed, you may call Apocalypse back from Soul. Shadow Paladin players, discuss. This is a 7k grade 1.
Okay. First thoughts. If I am a filthy cheater and could open every game with this card in my hand, it's actually pretty good in that case. That's also not going to happen every single time. It's like, what, a 50% chance to have a specific 4 of in your opening hand? I think it's like 51%, if I remember the calcs. So I coin flip's chance for this to be above average. If you miss, it's way below average. So this card isn't good, in my opinion.
I mean, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Braxton?
What do you think, Brax?
Why did they make this card?
It's a great question.
Why do they make this card? Like, what do I? So outside of the whole, I gotta ride it. Like I could like guard with it or sack it and then put it back in Soul. with whatchamacallit, but then I have to draw into another Apocalypse bat just to pull out a soul. Like there's so much going on with this card, and I'm like,
I just think there's a lot better grade ones you can play. Like,
yeah,
you got Swordbreaker, you got Nemain, you got I don't know who else, but you got those two, and those are 4 ofs each. So that's 8 slots right there.
Yeah,
and Nightmare Painter's a 7K, and I'm just like, nah.
Yeah, that's right. If you run then this and it requires you to run Nightmare Painter, you will have not a single 8K in your grade 1 slots. And that's sad for a Force Clan. That's real sad.
So thumbs down.
Yeah, I'm gonna go put the bat to sleep. This bat's just gonna give everyone babies.
I'm gonna go give the bat the bat.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Before we continue on, I want to take this moment. Speaking of things you shouldn't give the bat to, our sponsor for this video and most videos from forward, our buddy Tiz Skill has a nice little shop known as the Magic Satchel, and it is your place for case splits, product, sleeves, mats, whatever you need. He's got you covered in terms of cards. Pretty much everything I just said. So product, cards. If you need case splits in the future, he's the guy to go to. I don't have any way I think right now to put the link in the video, but I'll try my best to put the link in the description afterwards if you want to come back, or if Tiz wants to, because I know he's watching, he can drop it in the chat as well to his. He has a store on TCG Player. He has a store on eBay. He also has a store, or you can just contact him via email to get your whatever you want. I know with these nice spicy Shadow Paladins, you're gonna want to get in on that quick.
Oh yeah, that's right. Make sure you get that dragon before they disappear, before they get all eaten up by the Vanguard players looking for Dark Dragon.
That being said, make sure you check him out. And the reason I do it in the middle is because that's when most people are watching. As we go out of the little sponsor reel here, let's talk ban list or restriction list. And the reason I'm glad you're here, Keith, is because this is only relevant to you. Or mostly relevant to you.
Sure.
In case the people have been watching, Braxton and myself really haven't entered the premium scene yet, as we have not been very interested in it. So, that being said, let's see your thoughts on, first things first, the most important card that's been unrestricted. Mick the Ghosty. Keith, you're back, dude. It's time to build Grand Blue with Mick the Ghosties, man. You got the Ghosties.
But I still have the Ghosty shelf here. I still have that card. That card did not go away when I sold Grand Blue because Mick the Ghosty was the boy. This is great. Like, he's just there looking terrified with his family. He kind of looks like he has an afro, but I think it's just the background. Mick the Ghosty is the best stand. I love Mick the Ghosty. But I think this will be a good way to maybe get back, Night Rose into like some sort of relevancy. I don't think it's going to be good enough to get it back up there because Night Rose is very xenophobic as a clan. And like the new stuff doesn't mesh super duper well with the old stuff. There's a couple things you can kind of put together. But then a lot of the other stuff is very Night Rose Vanguard specific. So I think it'll get back in there. It was also the one problem as well with this card, I think about it, is that it was really good when you could ping for 11K. And that's not really a relevant number to hit for. Like, unless you're fighting ZTBs in premium. You're going to be looking at a 12K or a 13K Vanguard, which is going to be the next big problem for some of the unrestricted things.
Sorry. Thank you.
All right, so moving on, what do you think about so the 3 Gear Chronicle boys that have finally been set free. So as somebody who also played Gear Chronicle for a long time, you got the stand whose name escapes me.
Urwater.
TikTok Boy, and G Guardian.
Yeah.
Spin to win.
Yeah, spin to win, yeah. So this is really, in my opinion, just too little too late. Because, I mean, we all remember Timely when it was at full power. And like how dumb it was to get swung for 11K. But that, again, like the same problem with the MIC line of that, and I can't remember the grade 17K that's in Grand Blue, but the same issue arises in Timely of just like 11K is not a useful number to hit anymore. You can't ping them forever until they get a damaged trigger. So
we're 12 and 13 now, baby. Hey.
To be fair, you have to give, to some extent, Bushiroad a little bit of credit in understanding that. And trust me, if you've ever watched this channel, you know we're the last people to give Bushi any credit, pretty much anything. But you have to give him credit for understanding that really these cards' potency have truly been hit by the 13K base, and now like their power, their possible power output has been substantially like hit by the existence of 13K bases. Like the fact that you can't just ping for 11K over and over and over means that there really isn't a need for TikTok worker to be limited as well as our water.
Yeah. The other major point of this, because I know people are going to bring this up, force markers in relation to Gear Chronicle, and the force markers are really annoying to have to combo with striding and Lost Legends. You know, those all are like chalk and cheese, the two builds. Like the standard Gear Chronicle build does not mesh well unless you're running that weird Chrono Fang hybrid deck that I haven't really taken a look at just because I do not care. That the like Lost Legends does not mix with Jet at all, and Jet is like very specific to what Jet wants to do. So it's just going to struggle with anything, in my opinion.
All right, so those are the people who have been set free, and now we're talking about the people who have been restricted to one. So we've got Enigmatic Assassin, which makes perfect sense. I think having so many no life kings in top 8, even as someone who doesn't know, seeing that definitely.
Wait, we're not gonna talk about hetero round?
Oh, hetero round, yeah. Well, what do you think about hetero round being set free?
Hetero round is didn't this part not really apply to us? Do we not get the hetero round hit?
I think we did.
I'm pretty sure this is live on all fronts.
Was it? Oh well, I mean, this part I think is just kind of whatever, in my opinion. It's good. You get to run more hetero rounds, but again, doesn't hetero round need a Jet Vanguard?
I know it's a Soul Blast.
I know, yeah, he has a Soul Blast, but I'm pretty sure he's Jet specific because that was the big issue with him and Fang, Chrono Fang.
Oh like, yeah, you're right.
You're right because you can use hetero round and Fang.
Yeah, so I think it's fine. Again, like hetero round is a great G guard. It could be like the best thing in the world and also the worst thing in the world when they just call the exact same unit and go off again. But
spin a blaster blade, boom, another blaster blade.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the big takeaway is now that they have maximum head rounds, they can do that defensive play again with Cat Stand.
Oh yeah, that is true.
No, I agree that it opens himself up for combos, but then again, you're forced into the, not forced per se, but you're kind of locked into a Jet play there, and then you lose a lot of what Lost Legend could give you. I guess it might be their rationale.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the one that, like, to me seems the most. It could have stayed. It could have gone.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, are like whatever. It's fine.
So back to the ones that are restricted to one. We've got Enigmatic Assassin, which I think we can all agree, just from what, just as potential to do so much damage, I think needed to go.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Stand from Bermuda Triangle, who has a lot of text and therefore seems broken to me.
That's the takeaway. The text.
No, I think I remember this card, and I remember it being like infuriatingly good, but its actual skill escapes me.
Yeah, Kruk is a great stand. Like both of them, I think like the Enigmatic Assassin, as you said, Jose, is obvious. Like that card was just so free to make just absurd lines for no reason. So like the fact that card was a thing as long as it was bad for Bushi. Like you could have honestly given a reasonable explanation for that card being banned back when it was the what is the name of that Fighters Collection Stride? Like back in G era, that they would use it in OTK on the first ride.
Wait, you're talking about wait. We're talking about the Bermuda one. Or are we talking about?
No. I'm going back to Assassin right now, really quick. There was a stride. It was like a Fighters Collection one, and they used to use it with Blade Wings.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Something demon, Demigod. Boom.
Demigod. There we go.
Thanks,
Great Soulless
thanks,
Demon.
friends.
Yeah, thank you, friends.
Thanks, friends.
Like the name was escaping me for whatever reason. Yeah, Demigod. Like Demigod was actually like a dumb deck. I mean, it obviously was pretty glass cannony. It didn't go off all the time. That was still kind of stupid. That could happen. Now it was just like there is literally no reason for you not to ban it, or not to ban it, but to restrict it. As for Kruk, I mean the strength of the Bermuda deck, Anji, is through the roof. Like we never really got to see it because everyone was like, "Oh, standards coming up," so we never got to see like full power Bermudas in like G era. But this deck is good enough to go toe to toe with decks that have gotten their standard support, and this deck is not. Like we're only getting to the reveals now for Bermuda.
Yeah, no, like this deck was competing with like Spikes when Spikes were like full steam ahead with their new standard support and actually doing pretty well. And this deck was just coming up there and just being like, yeah, I don't need your new support. I'll just deal with my 5 PGs.
Yeah, that's right. It's fine. Yeah, I've got a G card that becomes like 60K for no reason. It's like, oh, you're Gize? I don't care. I'm gonna like, stride on your face while you're still on grade 1 because that was this.
God, that was nuts. That was so nuts.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad to see those cards get hit. I think that's gonna help balance the field a little bit, but only time is gonna tell. What about you, Brex? You think this is gonna be effective?
Like the list in general?
Yeah.
No, because now gold still exists.
I guess that's true. I forgot about golds.
Like they didn't really they didn't touch golds at all, and it was like 5 out of the top 8 decks.
Well, I thought No Life King was 5 out of the top 8 decks.
In Japan.
Oh.
America was golds.
We'll deal with Japan when we get to deal with Japan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, golds is just so free. Like the problem with golds is like it's one of those decks that just wins and you can't do anything about it. Like in the same way that just like if you play against Exodia sometimes, Exodia just beats you and you don't get to do anything because they just draw their entire deck turn 1. It's like golds does the thing with Bowmains and you're looking at Azel immediately and you're dead. So it's like it's a huge problem in that regard from like a game design perspective because you shouldn't have that go off at the same way like that. It's way too swingy as far as a card goes. You shouldn't just be like either you win the game for no reason or you just lose the game. There's nothing really in between. That's just not good game design.
Right.
So,
I mean, yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. Mega Colony beat golds, but there was only like one Mega Colony deck. There was 5 golds. 5.
Well,
5.
to counter that, Bryson, I want to hear what you got to say. There was 6 Kagero decks last year, and Ripples won. So, and they didn't hit Kagero.
No, they just power creeped it out.
Do you think that's just a strategy, though, to like try to hit problem decks is just a...
I mean, I think they should have hit problem decks, to be honest. Like, I mean, if they wanted to like do something to Kagero, I don't think I would have been upset personally. Like, it would have sucked to take the hit, but like, bruh, 6 out of 8, woof.
Yeah. Big woofs.
I just maybe Bushiroad sees the field and sees that, yeah, this happens, but maybe what the deck has isn't something that can be maintained long term. Like it's broken. Its power potential now is really high, but maybe in the next 2 sets it's not going to be as high as far as premium goes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could only go up. Like, this is the deck, and it's as good as it is now. We don't even have Raven yet.
Right. I agree with you, but, like, other decks also don't have their stuff either. Like, we don't even know what Bermuda is going to do. Maybe Bermuda comes in and just bops golds. Like, the smithereens. Maybe they just do what you just said and power creep it out.
But that's not a. I don't think that's an acceptable answer.
I'm just saying that sometimes you have to deal with combos that shouldn't exist. And sometimes it's okay to power creep a deck. Where the line is to do which other thing, I don't know. I can't say. But there is a line, right? I mean, a deck performing well, sure, that's one thing. A deck performing really, really well, sure, that's bad. But how do you address that? And well, in some cases, time will deal with that problem. In other cases, the thing I can think about is Manic Assassin. That combo is stupid. That combo just shouldn't exist. So you have to address the power of the combo first and foremost. And the only way to address it, you can't power creep that out because its power is at max. And so you have to get rid of you have to cut the bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Gold's, I don't know. I mean, maybe so. I haven't seen it played enough to make a full judgment. Oh wow, this thing needs to be restricted or something like that. It's kind of like an eye test. You know it when you see it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Keith, I don't know. You seem like you're pondering something.
No.
I've seen it, and it's not. It's not.
Yeah, it's just I agree with you, Jose, but you need to play against it because it's not okay. It's not okay.
Okay, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
I mean,
it takes the whole concept of, the coral riding first, but it just keeps the pressure going from then on, and then you're just oh well, you can't even really play the game with all that aggression.
I mean, yeah. I mean, maybe so. I mean, maybe they should have addressed it.
Now, granted, it did lose to Mega Conley. That is of note. Mega Conley had the out for that, but does that mean everyone should start playing Mega Conley now? I don't think that should be the answer.
Well, everyone got out Darkface, just so you know, as a result of that.
It's a tough one. It's a tough call.
50% of the 50%, people say you got a high roll with Ezel, but if it's 50%, that's not high roll. That's just you don't need a high roll 50%. That's 50%. Exactly. There's no.
It's higher than a coin flip because all you got to do is drop Bowmains, and you can G assist to get it. You can just hard mull. The chance is well into these percentile. It's not just 50%. 50%.
Oh, it's 60. It's as per Franz, his numbers. I guess we can check that later, but I believe Franz 65%. I don't think that's a high roll. I could be wrong though. I mean, what's our definition of high roll?
I don't know. I don't think it's high roll if it occurs in more than 50% of your games. That's not high roll to me.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree with both of you based on the map given. But like I said, I don't know.
But no, I'm not saying you're wrong, Jose. You make a valid point. I think, but the thing is, the deck is as strong as it is now, and I can't attest to what Bermuda's going to get, but we know for a fact Ezel's getting more support almost immediately, so the power can only go up.
No, that's true. I can't deny that. However, not to take it out of the realm of card game health, but you also have to think about the X factors at play here, and one of which that comes to mind is from a minute marginal financial standpoint, Bushiroad isn't going to want to restrict a card that is newer. They're not going to want to restrict the potency because, okay, what do you hit in that situation? What do you hit? Do you hit Balmains in premium? Do you hit Ezel in premium? What do you hit in premium to solve the problem? Where does the root come in?
Balmains.
You hit Balmains, right? Which is a new card, literally, brand new.
Literally came out the day before.
Yeah, Bushiroad's not going to. They're not going to do that.
No, yeah. I mean, we've seen it before.
Yeah.
What was that the Gear Chronicle card that was getting reprinted and they didn't touch it then. We didn't get it till 6 months after.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of that card. It's the Time Leap combo piece.
The grade 1 that I don't think Keith could remember the name earlier too.
Which one?
The
Steam
time
Maiden,
grade.
Steam Maiden something.
The girl. We couldn't remember the name. We all know who you're talking about. The 7K that goes up to 11.
Oh,
yes.
Malum?
Malum. Boom.
Yeah.
Yes. Malum.
No, I mean that's the thing is like now okay. Here's where I want to make a distinction. They did do the restriction with Jumping Jill when Jumping Jill was going to come out or whatever, but that's to prevent like they could foresee the ultraness of that combo. Like I don't care what you say about gold. Gold isn't going infinite. Going infinite is like that's fraudulent. Like so that has to be addressed fast. Also, I'm pretty sure Jumping Jill was like a common or rare, so they just didn't care.
Also, France brought up a very good argument that you could just hit old Kerf. That way, you don't have to hit any new cards.
I would. They probably have to hit it with like, you can't use it as a starter. Bushiroad rarely ever. I mean, they've never straight up said you can't use this card. They've only gone as the furthest they've ever gone is you can't use it as a starter. Which is what they'd have to do in that situation.
Right, but that could arguably be enough.
I mean, maybe that's what they should have done. I mean, I'm not making. I'm just arguing against.
No, I get you. I get you saying because you're absolutely right. That's all they've ever done with starters.
Yeah, there's no way they're gonna. They've never banned a card ever.
No, so probably what they should have done is said you can only
except
play
for Sylvester.
You can.
He was banned by his own skill.
Probably what they should say is you can only use premium Kerf at 1, and it can't be your starter.
Yeah, no, I mean that's definitely a way to go. I think maybe that's the way they should have done it, but for some reason or another, they decided not to. I think they probably measured the cost benefit of it all and figured out a reason. I mean, who knows why? I mean, if pure card game, if pure premium health was the only thing on their mind, then they probably would have hit it. But clearly, Bushiroad has like multiple angles to consider here. They have to consider like the game's health along with something else. Or, I'm not saying they have to. I'm saying they do. Like it would be better, of course, if they just considered the health of the premium format. But they also have to, they want to sell as many cards as possible. So that's a budgetary constraint to them. As to the levels of which they're willing to balance the game goes only so far as to it's going to affect the sales.
Right.
And also, they probably understand that gold's not the best deck in standard, so they need something to sell that clan.
Here's a bone. Here's an amazing premium deck.
Hey, I'm just saying, it's a very like logical step to think about. Like, they're like, man, like nobody wants gold paladins because in standard they aren't the best, whereas in other decks they might be, in other formats they might just be better.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows? I mean, it'll be a couple months before we get the next list, anyways. And by then, who knows what the meta looks like?
Mm.
That being said, it is time to talk about our champions. You ready to talk about our champions?
Let's do it.
About our champions. All right.
Talking about Mega Colony?
We are going to talk about. Okay, I gotta find this. Man, I'm in Japanese. No wonder. Scrub. Anywho. All right. This is standard. All right, so standard Bushiroad World Championship. I'm only going to do the top 4. So in English, we had Great Nature at first. I watched the game. Hit that like button if you watched that game because I stayed up and watched that game. 2, Murakumo. Second was Murakumo. Third place was Neonectar. Fourth place was Royal Paladin. You guys didn't watch the game, right?
I fell asleep during game 1.
It was
like
it was
when
he
rode Hamsuke and played out his turn, and then I passed out. And then when I
it
woke
really
up,
did
they were
make me
handing out
realize.
rewards.
It did make me realize that if you can pull off the Hamsuke turn, that is a lot of pressure in a turn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure to like just suddenly drop. So he started both games. It's important to realize that the Great Nature player played both games, never once riding into Leopold.
That's pretty absurd if you think about it.
He won both games on Hamsuke, and he did the full ride chain, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3.
That's really impressive. And
he used the combo both times. Now, granted, I believe across the 2 games he checked 6 heals, 3 on each. But the opponent also checked his fair share of triggers too. Don't get me wrong.
Didn't he hit 6, but none of them went off?
I think the first game none of them went off. The first game, all 3 didn't go off. I don't know if the case is true on the second game. I can't remember.
Because I heard he hit like 6 or 7 heals, and like more than half of them didn't go off.
Well, I know the ones in the first game didn't, because he was lower than his opponent almost the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
He could the Murakumo player just couldn't get in damage, and the Murakumo player in the game 1. It's also important to know that the Murakumo player, well, he didn't start optimally, if I remember. He started on Mandela, then he went into Zanbaku, or that might have been game 2. No,
game 1 he started Zanbaku.
He did start Zanbaku, and he went pretty good. Game 2, he went Mandela Zanbaku, and I believe game 2 was the one he did the rest. He did the rest stun.
Oh wow!
No riding, no stand, and our boy, the Great Nature Hamsuke God, overcame the odds.
So 6 in total heals never went off.
6 total heals never went off. Okay.
Going through all 3 games, there were not 3 games. There were only 2.
There were only 2 games. Murakumo player did not win one.
Yeah, it was a 2-0.
It was a 2-0 sweep.
You got a nice ass clap.
He got the bus. Dude, he got the bus ass.
No, granted, I think game 2, the Murakumo player really didn't get into his groove. He didn't really get any good pieces he wanted. Maybe, I don't know. It just looked like there was no position where the Great Nature player didn't have full control of what was going on, which was cool to see. Just because it just seemed like the entire time the Great Nature player knew exactly what was going to happen and then just executed it. Also, I don't know, man. If you can get that Hamsuke off, it can be pretty dangerous. Aside from that, I'm sorry?
I said don't sleep on the hamsters.
Do not sleep on that hamster. What are they talking about in the chat?
Also, there was not 5 Great Natures in top. Actually, top was pretty.
Well, top 4 was 4 different decks. I don't know.
Do you know top 8?
Mm-hmm. I do not.
I know there was a Kagero in there, and I was just like, what?
Which is also pretty crazy to think about, because best 2 out of 3 for Kagero to sweep it up. I'm proud of them. Way to go. Way to go, Waterfall.
Let's go, Waterfall.
Also, Royal Paladin showing up. I was really happy. Exculpate really showed up there. The guy's build's pretty interesting. I took a look at it. So I was a pretty big fan of that Royal Paladin build.
I found the Kagero build. It's something I want to give a go.
Really? That's nice. Yeah. No, I'll probably modify my deck to see how that build runs. I think it ran 2 Exculpate in English. Yeah, it ran 2 Exculpate. So continuing, so that's pretty much all I have to say about that match. It just seemed like the Great Nature player just seemed to have control in it, which is weird because I really thought Murakumo had a good matchup against that deck. Because it doesn't do anything after Vanguards have been placed. So you have to be riding the Vanguard every turn to make utility after Vanguard plays. But the deck just has so much rear guard potential. Also, that Panda is just a lot of good to play.
Yeah, man.
He hits you with 27. He hits you with Zawaldo. And you go down.
27 on its own is nothing to scoff at on an Excel marker.
No, I'm not doing that. All right, so this is completely unrelated, but important though. So there's a guy who actually had a playset of the Monarchs. He had a playset for the Monarchs, of the world ones. And I asked him, I messaged him, I said, dude, what's the What's the highest offer you've gotten so far? Just in case, I was like, who knows? Maybe I can beat the highest offer. Maybe scoop up these playsets and Monarchs. 2,000 was his highest offer so far for the playset.
Fuck.
That is
Indeed.
$500 a piece.
Indeed, my
So
guy.
I was like, I'm gonna go with a hard no. Congratulations! I'm glad you got such a high offer.
Yeah,
I hope
that's
he sold them too. I really hope he sold them. That being said, Keith, let me ask you: first place Gridora in premium. So his first place, Mega Colony Gridora. Second place was Gold Ezels. Third place was OTT Gize. Fourth place was Gold Paladin Ezels.
Mhm.
And then fifth was Ezel, No Left King. What do you think about?
Not only was Gold the 5 out of the 8, but it was also the top 4.
Well, it was
two in the
out of
top
four. But remember, both third and first are different decks.
Right.
So
wait, wasn't there? It had to be 2 minimum in top 4, just by virtue of there being 5 in top 8.
Oh, that's sad.
Right.
Oof.
Yeah, like
Oof.
it's with the math, it has to happen that way. If they match against themselves.
So what do you think about Gridora getting first? Talk to
I
me.
think people really sleep on Mega Colony, like especially in premium. Like it has some pretty dumb stuff. I mean, the guy, to be fair, got pretty lucky with Megas. But the deck has some gas in there. Like Redora is pretty silly. Overwhelm is a really good first stride. Bob Tyrannus is a really anti-meta stride. Like that card will actually just lock you down for a turn. Like in the same way that Chaos does it. He's just like, you don't get to do anything this next turn. Like unless you have dudes out there already, you don't get to do anything. So the clan, I think, is actually like it's a sleeper deck premium, is my opinion on Mega Colony. It was good at nationals, but it just never really got there. There was one guy that got third, I think it was. He lost out to Proof in the top 4. But it's a good deck. I think he was building machining specifically. It wasn't a but like Megas can catch you unawares. I think people don't really know how to play against them because they don't ever play against Mega Colony. So people just don't have experience.
Makes sense. What is the out that they have to to gold?
What is their
Not striding for 2 turns.
Wait, say again.
Well, I just remember Braxton saying they had an out to gold. What was it? What is it? How do they beat golds? How does Megas beat golds?
I mean, just slow them down enough, slow down the gas enough.
I was just curious. Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
makes sense.
So, like Keith said, slow down gas enough. Something to note though, in one of the games, I don't know which game it was, but the gold player did not stride for 2 turns.
Yeah.
That was like the defining factor of that particular game.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, sometimes you get hit with that 45% or that 35%.
Yeah, that's right.
Sometimes you get hit with that 35%.
Yep, it happens.
Oh, that's right. And OG Darkface. I forgot that it's not just Gridora. This build was the OG Darkface. The Soul Blast 2 is actually pretty damn good when you put something in on rest.
Yeah.
So.
No, for sure. I agree. And that's Worlds. I'm pretty happy to see it how it went down. I hated that it was so late for us to watch it, but I enjoyed watching it. I'm hoping that we see some more intense fights in the future. But that being said, you know what time it is, gentlemen? Time to rev up those #Absolutions.
Oh, before we go on to Absolutions, or while they're going up with the Ask Absolutions, we got the Japanese prices for BTO4.
Which
are they prices? Let me tell you. Which one do you guys think is the most expensive plan out of BTO?
I'm going to say Shadows again.
Okay, both of you saying Shadows?
Link Jokers and Shadows.
Link Joker is first, followed by Shadows.
Yeah, I figured.
Then Link Joker is most expensive with a $35, give or take, VR. Shadows next with a $25 one, and then the rest are under $10.
Value.
Thanks, everybody else.
Yeah.
Shadows have the waifu tax with no waifus.
Mm-hmm. Hey, but
They have 2 cards. Woo.
No, but Braxton,
Shadows
speaking of
have
that,
Shadows have the Ren tax, dude.
Yeah, the rent tax.
no, but Braxton, speaking of the waifu tax for Shadows, the Swordbreaker Delete Rare is sold out at $80.
Oof, oof, indeed.
The biggest of oofs.
That's an omega oof right there.
Yeah. Also, the SDR pack is absurdly expensive. There are 4 out of the 7 cards in it are $130. It's like a $600 to $700 pack if you pull it. It's like the Gizeh pack again, basically.
Ooh, value.
Oof. So, but before we hit the Ask Absolution because they're going up, Keith, since you're the only premium player at the moment in this chat, what are your thoughts on premium as it stands right now?
As it stands right now, like post ban list?
Sure. Yeah, we'll do that.
Post ban list is definitely better. NLK was dumb. I did not like playing against No Life King in premium. I think it's honestly a lot more fun I have in premium than I do in standard. But I feel like I can interact more with what my opponent is trying to do, rather than just like sitting across from each other and just being like, "You checked more triggers, so you won." Like that was that. Like it feels a lot better, I find, as far as a card player goes for playing Vanguards. So I like premium, and I think it's going to be in a better spot now that post ban list NLK is out of the way. Gold is still going to be pretty silly, but there's already some pretty silly things in premium. So I think we'll be able to stomach it unless it becomes like oppressively bad. Doesn't matter.
Okay. I respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I think you have a lot of valid points actually. All right, was that Braxton's question?
Yeah.
Braxton's very pensive over there.
Well, no, yeah, because we always talk about like Keith plays premium, so we can't comment on premium. So here's Keith. Here's his comment on premium because I'm not touching premium.
My opinion is the end all be all.
I'll touch it when Daddy Royals come out, man. I need some Royals hype, man. I'm also just sad in premium. I'm gonna play or maybe I'll play some new Batama. But apparently the new Batama deck that did well in premium was like old like hand discard type things, which is not what I want to. I want to be dominating stuff again.
It plays both.
It plays to some of both, but it's like I think from what I've been told, it's predominantly like focused on like discarding the hand, and it has Rene in it because Rene's a dumb card.
Oh yeah, you run Rene because Rene.
So, Keith, would you rather hit Old Criff or the Murakumo loop if you had to choose one? If you were Bushiroad.
Murakumo loop.
Yeah, I would hit the Murakumo loop personally.
I would also hit the Murakumo loop.
Just don't have loops in your game. They're not fun.
Loops are no bueno.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to be covering Bermuda month, or are you just going to hibernate?
I'm going to hibernate.
I'll probably tag out Braxton and tag in our boy the Sixth Ranger, given he is the Bermuda man. So I think that will be the best strategy as far as the next 4 weeks of spoilers go.
He'll actually be able to give like meaningful discussion on the cards. The rest of us cannot do.
The rest of us will just be like,
Yeah, that's right.
And what does this mean for the rest of the clan?
Yeah.
How do you feel this new set will affect premium and standard metas? I think deleters are going to be good. I think
deleters are going to.
I don't know how consistent they're going to be just yet, but man, they're going to be good. When they go off, just run because it's over. As for the rest of them, I just want to take. Go ahead.
I just want to take the leaders and just like run it into as many protect clans as I can just to see what's going to happen. It's like, oh, okay, you're at 0. How are you going to deal with this? Oh, now you're at 0. Now how are you going to deal with this? Like, what's going to happen here? Oh, by the way, here's a given.
It is going to be pretty interesting because, like, when you delete their Vanguard, it's good. It's basically every attack's going to be like, this. You might as well PG this. You might as well PG this. You might as. Oh, now you don't have any more PGs. Oh, how'd this happen?
It's like, oh, what's this? For some reason, you don't have another grade 3 in your hand. I guess you lose.
Shadows, dude, they're a mess. They're like spaghetti, dude. Like, what do you do with shadows?
Dude, I don't know. Like, I realize dark metal. I do realize dark. I just realized dark metal gets off Gus, but even still, I'm just like, now I'm not playing that card. I'm still not playing that card.
Yeah. Shadow was just like they missed the mark so badly with like everything that came out, with the exception of Swordbreaker. Swordbreaker was a really good card.
Hell yeah, it was.
Yeah, that is like the one saving grace from that set is Swordbreaker. But like some of the things that they just put in there are like, why? Why does this card exist? Like the majority of them, I should say, not just some of the things. The majority of the cards in there.
Like, why Apocalypse Bet? Why Dark Metal? Why Shadow? Shadow Blaze is. I personally like Shadow Blaze. I don't think I'm gonna play it, but I like Shadow Blaze more than everything else that I've got.
That being said, all right, the other clans that got support, I think they get a sizable bump. Right? I think
Master of the Fifth Element's a really nice card.
Yeah, DI looks really nice.
I think even Pale Moon seemed to get a little bit of a little bumpy bump, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Pale Moon is like Shadows. Like, we have these cards. What do we do with them now?
Well, right, though. I agree with that. A Bermuda spoiler that's garbage. I'm not going to talk about it. I think. Wow.
My takeaway from the news says someone just figures out the Millennium Puzzle that is Shadows right now. That's my takeaway.
Dude, leave it to the OCG, man. They'll figure it out. If there's a pharaoh to be found there, they'll find it. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I can't really think. Can't really think about anything else like of note. I mean, I'm just really excited to see what Link Joker's gonna do in Standard.
Me too.
I'm just really excited, even though like I'm still a little bummed and hurt that I don't get Lock as a traditional mechanic. But as a reasonable human player, I can understand that Lock would be broken in Standard as it stands now. There would be no out to it at all. You just lose. Maybe Excel clans could find a way, but they'd probably also still lose.
Mm-hmm.
So aside from that, if there's no more #AskAbsolutions, I think we'll call it in early, which is kind of nice because
we had a long one the last couple of times.
Yeah, we had. Well, we also rambled we also got on tangents for a while there.
Yeah, that is true.
I think this time we were like more clear cut to the point here.
Kind of hard to ramble about Worlds. Worlds is pretty clear cut. This is what won. This didn't.
Plus, there's nothing to discuss as far as that Great Nature Murakumo game. I mean, the Great Nature player just owned it. He just owned it the whole time. At least that's the way it looked. I was just like, there's no like, oh man, he could have won. Like, this was the mistake that changed the game. It was like, nah. This Great Nature player sat down and he said, nah, I'm gonna beat you. So let's just get this over with. Check out my giant hamster.
You ever see that? You ever see that show Hamtaro? What?
That being said, all right, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm here for damage check, guys. We're good to go.
Oh my god!
Well played.
That being said, it's time to go. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate everything you guys do for us. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new.
Where in the world is Jose Perez? I'm all alone.
I'm currently in Places Unknown version. I actually don't know the name of the town I'm in. Like, I legitimately don't.
Don't let strangers pick you up for drinks. That's all I'm going to say.
That being said, I'll see you next time. This is Team Absolution signing off. Peace.